Hello once again, everyone, and welcome back to AR Fitness and Athletics, episode number 22. We took a little break from shooting the videos this summer so we can enjoy the fantastic weather, and we are still enjoying the fantastic weather. But we did not stop our training or activities. As a matter of fact, we took that up a notch. We have a lot of things to cover today, so let's get to work. So as I just said, we upped it a notch in terms of our activity level as of recently. On my end, I am returning to the competition stage in powerlifting after what I didn't realize was quite a long hiatus, about 7 years. But I've been wanting to get back into the competition, and so I did. And I have a competition coming up November 30th of this year, and I will be training towards that, and I will be filling you in on how that goes and what competition training means and what the difference is from just training on a daily basis and what it means to be ready for competition. On the other side with Adamo, he was heavily involved with soccer this summer, but he continued to train outside of the field, and he's in great shape. The season just ended, and he's actually decided to go back to school to add further to his career with another career. So he'll be filling you in on what that means in terms of his training, his activity level, and how he's going to manage that. He's still going to be playing soccer and going to school, and he might be working, so he's got a lot of things to balance in there. So we're going to have him back on, and he'll let you know how he's decided to recreate and adjust his programming. Now, last we left off, we were talking about nutrition, and we are still going to continue with that because it's such a big thing to cover, a big item to cover. And I mean, we can just go on and on. We can make this a nutrition channel if you wanted to, but we're not, because our aim is to fill you in and give you the whole perspective on nutrition, activity, and mental health, emotional health. So we're not going to just make this a nutrition channel, but we are going to give you the information. So when we last left off here, just check my notes, we were talking about how to eat and all the information that is out there. And I want to continue on that topic. Now, as you recall, we were saying that there's a lot of information, and it can get quite confusing as to how to eat and what we should be eating. And I also said that we're making it much more complicated than what it needs to be. The other thing that we touched on was the why. Why are we concerned with nutrition? What does that mean when we actually speak of nutrition? And as I said, a lot of times when people approach me with this topic and this question, really what they're asking is about weight loss. And nutrition is not only about weight loss. So there are those of you who are looking to shed some unwanted pounds, but there's also nutrition on the level of athletics, and that becomes a different thing as well. When it comes to athletics, you're not really looking to shed pounds through nutrition, although you want to keep it healthy. Nutrition goes on another level. Are you getting in the right proteins, the right amount? Some people actually need to up their calories to make sure that they're getting enough of the nutrients in there for their sport, especially sports where you want to move a lot of body mass around, things like football or weightlifting or power events like that. So nutrition becomes something else. It's not necessarily weight loss. So when you are thinking about nutrition and you do have questions, the first question you need to ask yourself is, what is it that you want of nutrition? Is it weight loss, or are you looking to eat better? And they are kind of the same, but also very different. We always want to eat well. We always want to eat good foods, nutritious foods, but it's not necessarily geared towards weight loss every time. Like I said, there are some athletes out there, not only athletes, but some people who actually do need to eat more because they're undernourished. They don't take in enough calories. They don't take in enough good nutrients, and that just may be because that's just how they eat, um, how they train their body to eat. A lot of people will not eat lunch because they're busy at work, which I am completely against. You should always make time to make sure that you're feeding your body properly. So there's that aspect of nutrition where you actually do need to eat more and more timely and better foods. So you need to ask yourself that question first. What is it that you want of nutrition? Do I need to eat better in general? Am I eating the right amount of meals, but I'm just not eating good things during the meal? Um, am I overeating even though I'm eating a lot of good foods? Am I eating too much of it and therefore and not burning enough, and therefore I'm gaining weight? So there's those questions, and you need to ask those questions to yourself. You can't have somebody answer that for you. You need to know what you want from nutrition. From there, you can move on to the right path. I'm not a nutrition expert in the sense that I haven't mastered or PhD'd in that field. Although in my studies I did cover nutrition, and I know a base amount to give some decent advice. But if you're really concerned about what you're eating and how you're eating, then I do recommend seeking out a nutritionist or a dietitian, and they can help you along with that. And once again, it's not necessarily if you're only looking to lose body fat, but if you just don't think that you're eating well, um, regardless of your body fat percentage. If you're an athlete and you just don't feel like you have the energy, or as I said, if you need to bulk up, so to speak, to get you to the next level, then that's something that a dietitian or nutritionist can help you with, and I do recommend that you seek their help. Now, getting back to the other interesting topics, as I said, I'm going to be doing a powerlifting competition. And what does that mean in terms of training? As you know, I train year long, with small breaks here and there. But when you're training for competition, a couple things change. One big thing that changed is the mindset. Now that I know that I'm lifting or training towards something, I just felt in myself much more eager to get to the gym, more focused when I'm in there. I always try to stay focused, but it just seems to hyper elevate now that I'm back in that competition mode. What changes physically, or what changes in the realm of training? Well, right now my base training is still quite the same as before, but in a few weeks from now, I will be focusing more on the lifts themselves, the squat, deadlift, and bench press, and which means that I will be lifting or doing those exercises maybe more often, but it'll be more focused on those exercises and actually eliminating accessory exercises, so that my body has the energy to push larger amount of weights for those particular exercises. So we're not too concerned about proportions or balance. In other words, I won't be going crazy on shoulder exercises. They'll still stay in the program, but I'll probably get it down to maybe one exercise for a couple of sets. Same things with biceps and triceps. And this is not to say that these muscle groups are not important, but again, when it comes to lifting weights or powerlifting in those events, again, the bench press, the squat, and the deadlift, or again, if you're doing Olympic weightlifting, the focus is on the movements, those movements, and we're not too concerned about the size of the muscle. So we want to train our nervous system and our muscles to coordinate as well as possible so that we can effectively lift the weights with the least amount of stress on the body. So that's what's going to happen, and we'll keep you up to date and posted. And we will get back into the gym, shooting some gym videos, and Dom will probably get back on the field and He'll be showing you some of the things that he's going to be doing and how he arranges his exercises. So once again, he's going to be moving into another part of his career, or an additional part of his career, which means a change on his end. And this is very, very important. And this is why I almost want you sort of to focus more on what he's doing at this point, because going back to school means a big change in schedule. Now, it's a 2-year program that he's going to be involved with, which means in 2 years he will probably have to change his schedule again. And that won't be the only time or the last time he has to do that. And even in between, with having summers off, I'm pretty sure, most definitely, I would even say by the time he finishes the school portion, once he gets back into the summer, he will change his program to reflect the time he has on his hands at that point. So we'll get him back on these videos, and we'll have him go through what he's done to accommodate his new schedule, and in upcoming months, the things that he needs to keep doing to accommodate his schedule. And this is very important, and I want you to keep in mind that you can consider Adamo a professional athlete for the level that he's playing soccer. So this applies to most of us, the working class or people in school, but also to the professional and semi-professional athletes, because this is still part of life. Even the pro athletes, even though their main thing is their sport, you got to remember they still do a lot of interviews, a lot of meet and greets that they have to do, and this is also part of their schedule. So it's not just wake up, train for my sport, go back to bed. Not at all. They have very busy schedules, and they do need to coordinate their time accordingly and their training accordingly. So we're going to watch Adamo very carefully and see how he manipulates and handles his new schedule. So that'll be very interesting. I want to thank you for tuning in again, and we are going to have an exciting time in these next couple of months with all these big changes coming around. And as I said, we'll have some more action videos happening. I'll get in there and I'll show you what I'm doing with my lifts, and Adamo will show you if he's come up with anything new with his training. And we're going to have a lot of fun with this in the next upcoming months. So thanks once again, and we'll see you on the next episode.